Hello, YouTube. It's the Heli guys again, up for a boring chat because we don't have anything to show right at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a pretty boring week. Not per se. We had a couple of interesting crashes happen, and then trying to find parts has been the most of our week. Yeah, an absolute nightmare.
I crashed my 500 sitting up here on the wall.
Sad day.
About 3 or 4 days ago. And we cannot find parts for this freaking thing. We got most of the stuff that we need, but anything that we have to have for tail assembly is almost impossible to get a hold of. So this is probably going to be sitting for a while. If we can figure something out for it, that would be awesome. But I'm not seeing that anytime in the near future, so we'll just have to play by ear, I guess. But I also managed to crash my brand spanking new T-Rex 150X that literally just got it. Came in the mail and I was flying it the next day and I crashed it into the neighbor's yard. So if you're in the market for one of these things,
beware of the 150X. They do not like pet hair, wife hair, any kind of hair. Hair in the tail motor will shut it down and they will go down hard.
Yep, that's exactly what happened to this thing. I was cruising it around through the front yard and I didn't think to check it before I flew it. There was a hair in the tail motor that just stopped it completely, and I got to watch it tail spin into the neighbor's yard and explode. So that needs a new servo, because this thing, as you can tell, is completely trashed. And I'm gonna need landing gear because this is completely trashed as well. We crashed it once and got some glue on it, and that worked for a little bit, but it didn't survive my crash. So yep, that's the current state that we're in. And hopefully next weekend, if he isn't working, then we're gonna take Big eBird sitting on the wall there and we're gonna go through it. There's gonna be a pretty good video on that, but
yeah, we're gonna do a complete teardown. We got this bird off of eBay. She's older, much older. She's still a fly-barred head. But upon receiving the bird, there was multiple linkages on it that were nowhere near what the spec sheet from Align said they should be. It just a lot of inconsistencies. And so before putting a dated bird like that into the air, we're going to go through, tear it down, and go through the spec sheet and put her together, you know, where it's supposed to be from the factory.
Yeah, hopefully all that's going to happen pretty soon. We've got some batteries on the way, so we're going to hopefully get that in the air at some point. And as far as Nitro Bird you saw in the last video, I apologize for my terrible camera work on that one while we're talking about it, but I was just distracted. That thing was so cool in the air. I just didn't even think to grab the camera and hit the record button before, you know, watching it flip around and stuff. And anyways, so yeah, we're gonna need to nut and bolt that thing and make sure everything's good on it, because it was not doing what it was supposed to.
Well, and to be fair, guys, you know, we are not professionals. We are not. We are at best intermediate intermediate heli pilots, and
Yeah, I've only been at it for a little less than 6 months now, I think.
I've been flying for a few years, but I haven't flown regularly in almost 10 years now. Most of these birds that you guys are seeing have been parked on a shelf, and we're just getting back into the hobby. And but we're finding a real good gust of wind, and we want to start doing this regularly.
Yeah, hopefully at least a video every 2 weeks at the very latest. But we're trying with what we got, but it's kind of rough going at the moment.
Yeah, rough going is an understatement. I mean, uh, the 600 Nitro, it came in with some issues. Not sure if it was head speed or if the tail started to come loose or blow out. Or we got to tear into it. But we're going to nut and bolt that entire machine and make sure that it is mechanically sound before it flies again. Gonna get the battery in here shortly for the electric 600 and tear it down and make sure everything mechanically is sound, and then put it back together, and we will get it programmed and hopefully up in the air here in the next week or so. We're coming on the winter months, and so I think a lot of our flying is going to be done on the sim and just honing our skills and getting up to snuff and just, trying to become better pilots. I'd rather crash on the sim than crash in real life any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we've had a couple of catastrophic issues. If anybody has any links or tips on how to source parts for some of these older RC helis,
Yeah, I'll drop my email in the description.
Yeah, namely the Blade 500 3D or the
500X.
The 500X, yes. The Align 600 Nitro Pro or the Electric Pro models. Being able to get parts for those for us right now would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I've found almost everything that I need to rebuild that 500 on the wall there, except for the tail shaft and a set of blades for it. Blades are kind of universal though, so I'm not too worried about that, but I cannot find a shaft anywhere. I think the shaft that was on it when it went down may have survived. It'll turn up. Anyways, so yep, that's our current situation. But there's definitely going to be more content coming soon.
Well, and I mean, more content or less. I mean, we want to progress and move forward. When I stopped flying, I got sucked into a job that I had no time to fly anymore, and so all of my helicopters sat and they got parked, and the thing that happened was the drones had started to take over and there was nobody to fly with anymore, so I kind of lost interest, and so all of my birds, they just sat on the shelf, and then here's Jonah, and he took a real great interest into it, and so that sparked my interest again. And
hell, we gained how many helicopters within a few months?
Oh man, we've doubled our number of helicopters in just like a month and a half. Some of them, like the 500 3Ds, they were.
Oh yeah, that's something you need to mention. We have 2 of the 500 3Ds.
Yeah, so we got those on a great deal. They are older birds, and we want to we want to be able to fly them, but parts availability has been a big issue. We want to get into some of the newer birds, maybe a Saab Goblin 550 up to a 700 size. But right now we're just trying to enjoy the hobby for what it is and fly what we have. Um, but any leads, tips, or help on sourcing parts would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, basically we're just two guys looking to build our skills and be good members of this. It seems to be a dying breed of people that want to fly these things. Has been our experience.
Yeah, every time we pulled up to the airfield so far and pulled out helicopters, all them guys with their planes were super confused. They thought it was pretty cool. They were really surprised that they were meeting people that can fly the things. That's actually how we ended up with the 2 Blade 500s. The guy that was over there said that he used to fly helicopters, or he tried anyways. And he said that he crashed more of the things than was worth the money anymore. So he had these 2 helicopters brand new in the box sitting in his shed he was trying to get rid of. And he smoked us a deal on those.
Yeah, the one that crashed, it you know, I feel kind of guilty. We were trying to address a tail wag issue. When you punch the collective on it, the tail would wag a little bit, and so I suggested, let's move the tail linkage on the servo up a notch. And apparently the gyro would not compensate for that little bit of gain.
Well, there's a couple things that could have gone wrong. The gimbals on my remote are kind of starting to get a little finicky. So there's a number of things that it could have been. We're kind of unsure of, but first thought was the gyro just didn't like the adjustment. I was hovering it in the yard, bouncing it, trying to test it to see, and it was working great. But whenever I brought it back into land, it just went into a tailspin, and that was that.
Yeah, I think you have some still footage
Oh yeah.
of that. He's got a little bit of crash footage. It was a close call, especially for a machine that size.
Yeah, it landed close to me too. That was pretty scary. It landed like 3 or 4 feet off my ankles.
So anyhow, you guys, yeah, we would love all the followers that we could get, all the newbies, all the guys that just want to talk helicopter, RC helicopters, or helicopters in general, or just pass on knowledge. We're super enthusiastic about getting back into this, and um, just any feedback, any input, constructive criticism. Let's keep it positive, but anything we can get so that we can progress in this hobby and make some content that's entertaining for you guys would be great.
I very much agree. If we can get some discussion started, I might even start a Discord just for helicopter stuff. That could be fun.
Yeah, a good Discord, a couple nights a week, something like that. My current job, it keeps me out of town during the week. I'm available on most weekends, but yeah, man, we're the heli guys. We're the newbies. We're down to give reviews on anything that can be sent our way. We fly a line and blade currently, looking to get into Saab or MSH, the Protos line. Test and try out battery chargers, batteries, anything like that. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, we just wanted to make a quick video sharing our latest endeavors. Okay, well, I think we're gonna call the end of the video there, and the next video you see, we are going to be trying to resurrect this little guy. So that should be pretty fun. So we'll see you then.